So, Mark, did you see that drone flyover of Wynn's golf course? I know there's no lake and it's not the Paradise Park thing that we were supposed to have, but it's a good reminder that it's still on the strip and a beautiful piece of land.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And we've seen videos before of like the sphere timed up perfectly to when the tees off and it like does the oh poor guy face and stuff. But the drone video was really cool. It shows the course. I have to imagine some of that was AI though. It looks a little too perfect.
Oh, come on. Now that's a conspiracy theory. But it looks beautiful. I wonder, I don't know how much, maybe people in the comments can let us know how much a round of golf costs there now. It's definitely not cheap, but it reminds you of the days when there were like several golf courses. Dunes had a golf course, Tropicana. There were a ton of golf courses around the strip, and this is the only one that's left. I guess Bally High down on the south end is sort of still there, but golf used to be a big part of the Las Vegas Strip experience.
Except for you can't do it in the summer unless it's like in the evening. It's funny, you get like discounted rates at prime time anywhere else to golf because it's so hot.
I would have taken some jet skis though, Mark. I do miss the jet skis in that drone shot.
Still got a chance, man. The land's still there. Let's make the lake. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it. So from the beauty of the Wynn Golf Course to the dead Bellagio trees, a story broke this week that Bellagio is having to replace 13 trees that were put in after Formula One. As a reminder, they cut down the trees that had been there since the property opened back in the late 90s, and now I guess they're struggling to get new trees to work. They said that this type of tree was supposed to work well in the climate, obviously not working, and they're trying something else. They should have never cut down the original trees.
Yeah, this hits home a little bit for me because I just moved around some landscaping yesterday, dug up some stuff, split it, moved it, hoping it doesn't die. So hopefully it doesn't go all Bellagio on me. But yeah, this was what we worried about when they were doing all this stuff and building the grandstands and removing trees and blocking other trees. And it's just, we knew it wouldn't work out well. Yeah, if they would have kept them, it'd still be beautiful. But, you know, this was expected somewhat. So hopefully they figure out something that works. But they're still going to have to do this every year. So I don't know, just like leave them dead and and wait until F1's gone.
Well, they are in boxes so that they can take them out and they're supposed to live and then they can put them back. But my favorite part of this was the quote that they provided. After consulting with third-party experts, we determined that several trees alongside Las Vegas Boulevard need replacing. What experts did they need? The trees are dead.
It's kind of sad that I got to this point that people are even just like taking pictures and posting it on Twitter of dead trees. Like you think they would have caught on to this a bit sooner with the landscaping they have there. I'm sure they have an arborist on staff or something because of the craziness that they do at Bellagio. You think that they'd be out there checking, especially since they just replanted them. It's kind of kind of messed up.
Speaking of messed up, I wanted to find out what people think of this. Somebody tagged us on X or Twitter saying that at the Dunkin' Donuts at Link, they paid $7.50 for a hot water. I guess they brought their own tea bags or whatever they were going to do with it. And then I noticed when we were at Tropicana with my daughter right before they closed, tried to get her an ice water and they charged $1 at the bar there, which I didn't think was a big deal. You know, everything's expensive on the strip. But I wonder, like, is this normal for ice water, for hot water? Are people paying exorbitant prices? Or these sort of one-off scenarios?
Yeah, when you say teabag, I'm just thinking of like Fortnite and gaming and all that stuff. I don't mind them charging a little bit for hot water because that comes with a cost. You know, you got the cup, you have to heat the water, the workers, all that stuff. Like a couple bucks makes sense. $7.50. That's like, more expensive than some of the coffee there, which is kind of crazy. So they definitely shouldn't be charging that high. For ice water, it's a little bit different. I mean, you still have some expense with the cup and everything, but you're not like heating it up and using, machinery and stuff like that. And, you need water to live. So you're in a hot place. I feel like ice water should be free. It's kind of like at Disney. If you go up to any stand and ask for water, they have to give it to you for free because they know people are out there sweating and all this stuff. You think it'd just be common courtesy at this point.
Yeah, $1 felt, I don't know. I don't usually go ask for ice water from like a bar, so I'm not sure what it is. And I just thought it would be interesting to find out. Like you said, hot water, it feels like, you're circumventing their tea or whatever. And so that's probably what they're charging you for. But $7.50, I mean, is a tea $7.50 there? That would be sort of insane. But I guess it's Las Vegas Strip prices.
Don't bring your own tea bags, just pay for it when you're there, I guess is the moral of the story. Bring a hot plate and heat it in your room. Microwave it. I don't know. That's bad, right? You can't microwave water for tea. People get very angry.
We triggered all kinds of people. But let us know your water experiences in Las Vegas. I'm really interested to hear what people have to say about what is being charged out there. But let's move on to Ellis Island. And they're finally doing that expansion. They announced several years ago that they were taking out their microbrewery, and it's just been a very slow process. As a reminder, they opened the front yard in 2019, so that was their last expansion. This family's been running this business since 1967. Eventually, they bought the hotel next door. They've kept expanding it. This will add 6,415 square feet to the property, including an expansion of the casino floor, sports book. There was a rumor that they may even launch their own sports betting app, but either way, it's good to see this finally happening.
I mean, it's a beloved property by many people, you know, you and me included, and the front yard is such a cool area, and they really knocked it out of the park with that. So I'm looking forward to this because the casino area is a little bit dated, a little bit run down. So with this expansion, maybe they rehab the whole thing, and it has a little bit nicer of a vibe to it, even though it's such a fun atmosphere. I think they have the brewing capabilities off-site now, so you can still get their beer for cheap, hopefully, even if they remove this microbrewery. And you'll get, like, the best of everything, essentially. So if you haven't been, definitely go, get the steak deal, hang out, watch a game in the front yard. It's such a cool environment, and one of the few local-owned casinos, like small mom-and-pop operations, left in Vegas.
Yeah, great fish and chips too. They also have their barbecue joint in there, Metro Pizza. There's just a lot to eat there, but yeah, it's not very big. And this will bring it all the way out to the street on the other side. Front yard brought it all the way out to the street on the north side. So yeah, good times in Ellis Island, and it's always good to see them doing well. So I thought we would do a little bit of a food roundup for some stuff that I tried, things that we've covered on the show before. So I finally got to try Miami Slice at Fontainebleau. And people have been talking this up a lot. It looks really good. It uses those high-end pepperonis. The crust was very good. It has a little chili oil drizzled on top. My only problem with it was that the sauce was super sweet, like almost, candy sweet, which is not my preferred tomato sauce. But overall, I would say it's a decent quality pizza, not a top-level pizza, and it's $9 a slice, which anywhere else would be crazy, but it's the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, how do you think it compares to the one at Durango?
It's better, for sure. Better than my experience at Prince Street. So yeah, I liked it. It's, $9, not going to be cheap. You're at Fontainebleau. Everything in the food hall there is expensive. Everything in that area is expensive. We talked about Rosa Mexicano on the last show, and people talked about the prices being crazy, and they are, but it's really hard when you're talking about food on the Strip to criticize pricing when everything is so high. So I just kind of pass it on, and I don't make as much a judgment on that because a $9 slice is pretty common there. You might find something for $8 or $7, but you're not going to find a $3 slice on the Strip.
It's tough to find quality pizza on the Strip at a decent price, and there used to be like food courts that you maybe could find it for $4 or $5 inside a casino, and that's gone, even though that pizza isn't the best. So, you basically have to go off Strip if you want to get anything at a normal price, and that's just your drunk tax, when you're late at night and you're grabbing a slice of pizza. It's just baked in that you're paying $3-4 more than you normally would.
So next up is Abel's Bagels. Now, Las Vegas Phil said that he thought this is the best bagel in Las Vegas. This is in the southwest part of town, and it's in this little strip mall, and it's a very small shop with a couple tables, but mostly it seems like they do to-go orders. But we finally went over there last week to try it. Not my favorite bagel in town. Really good bagel, though. Very fluffy. I still think Bagel Mania and Bagel Cafe have better bagels, and there's others that I haven't tried yet in town. Mostly, though, don't go there to eat in because it's a very sort of crowded, small space in a strip mall, but a decent bagel if you're looking for it, just not deli style or traditional. This is more like acai, hipster type of place.
Yeah, I think that's most of the bagel shops around here is, grab and go. They might have a table or two, but it's not like a full deli, which you do get at the other, like Bagel Mania has got a huge seating area and stuff, and they do more of a full-on deli type of selection, sandwiches and all that type of stuff. So it makes more sense there. Or if this is just bagel and cream cheese, maybe like a breakfast sandwich and just kind of the more simpler type of things, then I could see why they wouldn't, have all this seating space.
And last food-related item, the Blue Man Group is teaming up with Pinkbox Donuts for the Blue Man Poo Donut, and a second one as well through the end of April. And this is kind of a cool cross promotion. They love to do their fancy designer donuts, and they're pretty good. I wouldn't say they're the best donuts I ever had, but better than your standard, West Coast Dunkin' Donuts, I would say. But I always love the cool designs.
Dunkin' Donuts getting 2 shout outs in this. Should we bring up that it's also at Virgin, but it looks like you're at the airport when you walk by?
Yeah, it is also at Virgin. Well, East Coast Dunkin', people say it's better. East Coast people swear by Dunkin' Donuts, and they say on the West Coast it's not as good. I really have only really tried it on the West Coast, so not my favorite, but I'd say, it's very similar to Voodoo Donuts. Pinkbox is, and they're famous for their poo donut, and they just made it blue for the Blue Man Group. So what's better than that?
Yeah, my East Coast buddy calls it Dunkin' Dog Nuts, so I don't know that everybody agrees that it's good over there. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool donut. It's just funny that we've been talking about Blue Man Group and how nobody really seems to mention them anymore or talk about the show, and maybe it's past its prime and kind of like fading into the nothingness. But now we see this, and they come out of nowhere. So it's kind of cool that they worked with them and kind of pulled them out of, from yesteryear and did this donut deal with them. Maybe it brings people, oh yeah, there is still Blue Man Group. Maybe they'll go check it out.
And Pinkbox, I mean, they're exploding all around Las Vegas. There's so many locations now. And like I said, I do think they have good donuts. Not the best I've ever had, but certainly good donuts. So give them a try, and all kinds of cool designs and fun little flavors. And if you want poo, you can get poo. So, what's better than that?
Blue poo.
Blue poo. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our weekly after show. Mark and I talking Vegas, diving in deeper, behind the channel, all that fun stuff. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all of the information. Thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So closed casinos, we're 4+ years after the start of the pandemic. And we lost a lot of casinos like the Fiestas and the Texas Station and the Wild Wild West from Station Casinos. And Boyd Gaming has kept the Cannery closed all this time. And their gaming license was up for, renewal. And they just got that extended to 2025, meaning we shouldn't expect the Cannery on Boulder Highway to reopen anytime soon. And it's right next to Sam's Town. It competes with them. Their locals business not doing as well as it was post-pandemic, where there was sort of a boom. And I guess they say it's still not ready. The main difference with this property compared to some of the others is it was built in 2008, so it's not that old.
Yeah, I looked at it. It looks pretty new. Like you look at the structure, the casino, and then the hotel kind of has a cool design to it, so it pops a little bit. And I'm surprised the perfect time to launch was like early 2022 when everything boomed and they could have made a lot of money, and we saw local casinos just kind of go crazy. And that's kind of like buyer's remorse or regret. Like you waited too long and now you're stuck. Like, well, it isn't as good as it was. Is it good enough now? And you just keep kicking the can. And I'm a little surprised they didn't open it. Like Stations, they closed the casinos, but they also opened up a couple brand new ones. So you could see where they were repurposing their funds and all that stuff to these new casinos and a focus there. Where this is a decent looking casino, not that old. You think you just want to get it open and producing some money.
Boyd bought it in 2016, and they have to be regretting that, right? And I don't know if they bought it to take it out of competition because it's right next to Sam's Town, which is not their flagship, but it's named after Sam Boyd. So it's sort of a very special property to them. And yeah, it's interesting. And they don't want to sell it, right? Because they don't want a competitor to come in right next door. So it seems like they think their best move at this point is just to keep it closed. I wonder, why not just reopen the casino, keep the hotel closed, do some other stuff? But clearly Boyd doesn't want to do that. So we remain with a closed casino right there on Boulder Highway. It's a really nice looking property. So hopefully we'll get some news on it at some point in the next year, but they'll probably just keep extending it and then eventually tear it down, and then they can put the temporary casino there, Mark, put the trailer every few years, and all will be good.
Yeah, we love the trailer casinos. I can't wait for that video.
So let's go over the hump to Pahrump. And Air Force Amy, she was very famous for that HBO show, 25 years ago. She works at the Chicken Ranch, and she announced on X that she's doing free tours, no obligation required. You can just go out there and tour the place without having to be a customer.
I thought you were trying to get me in trouble with this in the show notes when I clicked through, and I was like, oh, okay. Hope the wife isn't looking over my shoulder as I'm preparing to talk about this, but no, kind of cool if you were ever interested in this type of thing or checking out, never felt like the courage to it, or you couldn't get buddies to go with you or girlfriends or whatever, at least you have this open invitation. You can go check it out. Maybe I'm sure they're going to get a whole bunch of window shoppers that don't do anything out of it, but now's your chance, I guess.
And you get a tour from a celebrity in that industry. So, why not do it? Chicken Ranch also very famous in that industry, only about an hour away. So yeah, head out there if you're interested in a free tour and look around. Let us know how it goes if you go out there. And also, kind of on the flip side of that, Westgate has a new suite. We've talked about all of their theme suites, Christmas suite, Halloween suite, the plaid suite, the cowboy suite, and now they have the I Do suite. This is a new suite, wedding themed, of course, and you can even host your weddings inside the suite. As usual, they did a great job, very extensive renovation here, and this is their thing now, and I really love that they keep coming out with these themed rooms.
Yeah, I think this one might be the most useful of them all. Like maybe not the coolest or, the widest ranging of people that would want to check it out. But if you wanted to go to Vegas and have a shotgun wedding or a smaller type of thing, you can maybe hire an Elvis to come upstairs and do it for you. But it's kind of cool to do it like you have this private space. You don't need to go to a wedding chapel where other people might be like hanging around waiting for their turn and stuff. You get more seclusion and then you have your room attached to it. So it's like kind of saving you a little bit of money that way where you can just go crash there afterwards, maybe have a little party in the open space. So I think it said it fits up to 20 guests, which is kind of perfect for that type of thing. So if you don't want to go to Taco Bell, here's a good a good option for you.
Yeah, so many good options for Vegas weddings. I love that Westgate's continuing these theme suites. Hopefully they have more ideas because they are delivering on them. They're very extensive refurbs and, from top to bottom, they're good, which is the nice part about it. They're not just calling it a theme suite and then putting a few things on the wall. They're going all in. Good to see that with Westgate. And I wanted to talk public transit for a minute, Mark, because we talked about the monorail on the last show. A lot of people chimed in with their thoughts on it. And there was a couple other news items, that came out. Maryland Parkway just got $150 million funding for a bus rapid transit system. And that's going to run up Maryland Parkway and connect everything. And unfortunately, that's the future of Las Vegas mass transit, as there's no funding or desire to have light rail lines, subways, even gondolas. And this is sort of what we're going to see going forward, as strange as it is for a city of our size.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad because buses do get some cars off the road and offer transportation to people that otherwise might not have it, but they are still on the road, congestion. It doesn't really free it up. It's not the most efficient time. Like if you ride the Deuce, it takes you a while to get to where you want to go. So it's not efficient time-wise for people. You need to really set aside extra, 2 or 3 times as much to get to where you need to go, which isn't the best for people. So it'd be nice if they came up with something better, but when you're kind of landlocked and not a lot of options, this is what you can do easily and cost effectively.
And it is an improvement. I should definitely say they're adding bus lanes, bike lanes, making a better pedestrian experience, but we're not going to get dedicated train lines or light rail. It's just not happening. It's not even on the horizon for Las Vegas. Speaking of the monorail, Boring Company or one of their contractors apparently hit one of the beams this last week on the monorail, causing it to shut down. And there were conspiracy theories out there that they're trying to just take out the competition sooner rather than later. But yeah, another kind of crazy monorail story this week.
I wouldn't believe that because they're still so far away from actually having anything that could work. It's a little preemptive strike there, a little too soon, but not the best look either if you're, digging these tunnels under all these casinos and streets and stuff and you kind of hit important infrastructure.
And while this isn't the most sexy topic, one other mass transit thing. Do you remember a few years ago, I think we talked about this at some point, where they proposed an elevated roadway coming out of the airport. And this sort of reminded me of the LVCVA talking about repurposing monorail tracks and putting an elevated roadway on the supports. And this was a really cool idea. They put a whole YouTube video out, said that they wanted to propose this. I don't think anything ever came of it, but it was this elevated roadway that would take you out of the airport, let you get onto Harmon, let you get onto Flamingo. This is absolutely what we need. Why are we not getting stuff like this?
I mean, just extending the monorail to the airport would have been an amazing feature. Think of how many people that would take off the road for Uber and stuff coming out of the airport. All the taxis and stuff that back up right there. And this is another thing that could have done the same thing. With it being so close too. It's not like it's a Denver or Detroit or something where the airport, and Denver even has a train, but it's not like it's 30 minutes away. It's, you could ride the monorail for probably like 8-10 minutes and be where you need to be. And this type of thing would free that up too. So it's sad that they never really made a focus of that. Like they could have invested the money and made that work, and people would have gladly paid like $8 a one-way trip to hop on that from the airport all the way to their hotel. It would have been easy.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's only about a mile, I think, from MGM Grand into the airport. So the extension isn't even a full line. It never got done. Maybe LVCVA will consider selling it to a private company that will actually try to run it and get new trains and everything. But the future of mass transit in Las Vegas should be gondolas. Gondolas everywhere, Mark. Throw them up, put these towers up, let the little gondolas go. This is what it's all about. But we're not getting anything but bus rapid transit.
Yeah, gondolas are the answer for everything. For sure.
Yes, absolutely. If you agree with us, leave a comment or let us know about anything else we talked about today. The tours out in Pahrump, the Blue Man Group donuts. Miami Slice, have you eaten at that pizza place at Fontainebleau? Let us know what you think of that. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and normally Fridays, but this week it'll be Saturday for our next show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Hump for rump or trim for prim for trim.